I want to ask you about your musical journey. Like, was music always the dream for you? Like, how did you get started in this?
Yeah. So like as a kid, when I was in the 5th grade, I wrote a song for my mom and I told her like, Mama, and she was like, oh my God, thank you. And she loved that song, of course. So ever since then, I kind of realized how much I really enjoyed making other people feel good with my lyrics. So in like grade 6 and beyond, I was just like writing songs. I would find beats on YouTube. I'd write to those beats. And eventually I started discovering like SoundCloud and then any video platform, I was on it singing. So like Vine, Keek, Twitter, when the video feature came about, that was the first place I went viral on was Twitter.
Wow.
And that was an experience in itself. I was like 16, so I was just wrapping up like high school basically and doing exams. And oh my God, I was stressed because
was it kind of like random how it happened?
It was definitely random. And like there was like the good with the bad because, you know, then you open yourself up to like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that don't know you and just make judgment just based off how you look. And so like when I was singing in the bathroom, the acoustics, it's a lot of like, why is she singing in the bathroom? And I'd be like, the acoustics? Like, you know, it sounds good. You know, that's what I would see online.
Studio. You're shitting there. Like, I'm singing my heart out.
Exactly. And like, I think being 16, like being so young at that time and going viral and just seeing like some things that people would say, it's like it put into perspective like, okay, like people can definitely be mean. And I was still growing into myself and still like becoming comfortable with like just being me, like, you know, and
being
like
learning.
A teenager. And so like I remember at that time I was like super, super conscious and it made me actually shy away from wanting to sing on the internet for like a hot minute. So like after a while I wasn't posting singing videos like that. And even when I joined TikTok, I think I still had that little fear of like, oh God, like I don't know, like what if my video ends up on the wrong side of TikTok? I'm like, I can't like be fighting for my life in the comments. No,
I know.
But
it's funny though because I feel like for every hate comment you get, there's like 3 people that are obsessed.
That's the thing, though. The love definitely outweighed like any like nonsense. And personally, I'd be clapping back. Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like even when I was 16, I was like, girl, you have no room to talk. And then all of a sudden the tweet disappears. I'm like, exactly. Like, why are you coming here and jumping me?
What are you saying?
Exactly. So I think as I just learned now, like now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, it's definitely like projection. It's also like just people just kind of just being miserable, you know? And so I'm just like, whatever. Like I don't really care anymore. Now I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Was there something that you've ever read about yourself where you're like, that's so not true and it's just so crazy?
No, not really. I don't really like, I don't know explain it. Like I talk on the internet, but at the same time, I don't think I talk enough because like when I was talking during like the Bloom era on TikTok, people were like, we thought you were British. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, like we just assumed you're from the UK because we don't.
It's so funny,
because talk.
And like in like when you're singing, like an accent wouldn't like really come across.
Like I guess, So they maybe thought that maybe when you talk, but I'm like, oh, I take it as a compliment because have you seen like the UK girl makeup? Like flawless. So I'm like, hey, thank you.
That you're like, I'm part of the elite squad.
I'm part of the squad.
Yeah, I got it. You're having a pretty major year. As I mentioned at the top, you're performing at the Junos this week and you're doing Aqyila. You've been also on tour with Pink Sweats. Yeah. What has been like, has there been the moment this year where you're like, oh, I've made it? Or has there been like something where you've been like crazy?
Oh my gosh. It's been so crazy because honestly, I did not expect all of these things to be happening all at once. The most I knew was going to be like obviously the Pink Sweats tour. Yeah. So like me and my team and like the label were all like, okay, cool. Like you want a tour? And then right after that, it was like, hey, so Junos? And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then it's
was this your first time on tour with
yeah, it's my first time touring just in general.
Cool.
Like I've done the live show thing down here in Toronto and in Ottawa and in Montreal and like in Calgary. But this was my first time doing something across North America. So visiting all like the States in like such a short amount of time. It's crazy on the body. I won't hold you. Oh my God. Like I had random like acne flare-ups like here and there because like when you're traveling so much and then like even though I was keeping up my skincare, I was like, where's this pimple coming from?
No, but like your diet's not good.
Everything.
You're not drinking as much water. You're out of routine. Your sleep's not right.
But I'm so glad I didn't get sick. Like my mom is like very much into like natural, like naturopathic like stuff. So she gave me like a tincture and like oregano oil, and vitamin C, magnesium. Like so I
love that your mom's got like the natural. My mom's like a natural mom also. Yeah.
So I made sure I was like, I'm not getting sick because if I get sick, it's going to take me a minute to recover.
Yes. Like, well, and then there's people that are like, you know, they're coming to see you and
and I want to make sure I'm in my best form. Sure. You know what I mean? And another thing that I really loved about tour was that I was able to actually like converse with people in person. Like I did like a little like mini meet and greet moment. So like after my show was done, I was like, if you guys want to come to like Pink's merch table, like come say hi.
Cool. Wait,
and
what was the meet and greet like?
It was just so cute. Like a bunch of people lined up, and like a lot of them were like, hey, like I actually don't know about you, but now I do, and I'm so glad. And I'm like, I appreciate that. Like, and it's like that's what it's for. Like it's just to make sure that people can connect and like see me in person, get to know me a little bit more beyond just like what you hear on like Spotify and Amazon, like on like online. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And now they're just like, wow, like now I'm a fan. Like I really appreciate it.
I feel like it's such a difference. Like myself, even doing with like comedy too. Like of course it is like your act that you're selling people, and like that's the product, and like you know, thank you so much. Ticket links below. Like that's we gotta get the people going. You know. Exactly. But then like when you can actually talk with people as like a human, like out of almost like performance energy and character.
It's so different. And then it was so cool because when I did get to connect with people that actually do listen to my stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, man, like hello, Bloom, like the effortless, like your songs got me through like so much. There's so many people that were like crying. I was like, oh, thank you. Like I'm like, you're gonna make me cry because I'm a crybaby. So I would be like, oh my God, please don't cry. Like because like it's gonna make me start crying on the spot, and then we're both gonna be crying.
For sure. Well, and then this is inspiration for your next song. You take those feelings, that energy, and like bring it all that gratitude all back.
It was really beautiful. I really cherish those moments.
That's so great. Has there been something that's been really funny that's happened on tour with Pink Sweats? Because I know he's got a sense of humor.
He's hilarious. First of all, I love the way how he interacts with the crowd. So I remember night one, he was like telling the crowd, he's like, okay, now this next one, I don't want y'all to sing because when you guys sing, it throws me off. And you guys be saying, some of y'all be singing off key. And people in the crowd were like, ah. And it's just like hilarious to see an artist say that to the crowd. Because I'm like, sometimes we be thinking that. Because sometimes you could be hearing people through your in-ears and you're like, whoa.
Like, please stop. Yeah.
So it's like
it's people
really
clapping
funny.
like not on
beat. Oh my gosh, not on beat.
You're like, no, actually I can't move
right.
right.
We turn up our packs and just want to make sure that we're on beat, you know? But it's really cool to like take out your in-ear also and hear people singing along to the music. But it was just funny that he was just like poking fun at the crowd, and he's really good at engaging with the audience. So it was really enjoyable watching his set.